Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Rempel with the Sledge Hockey Experience in partnership with ParaSport Ontario, and today I'm here with Claire Buchanan from Team Canada Women's National Team. In this video, we're going to chat with you a little bit about how to stop in sledge hockey, what to consider if you're starting out. Let's get into it. So when you start out playing sledge hockey, chances are you're going to be in a sled similar to this one here, which is a Rev Force 1. And on the bottom, we have adjustable blade sets. So blades can begin anywhere from around 5 inches apart, narrowed down to anywhere as close as, I think, Claire, you're on about 1 inch apart.
Yeah.
Depending on your skill level and ability. So this blade set here is at 3.5 inches apart. I'll demonstrate a couple examples about what it's like to try and turn on a wider blade set, which is actually much more difficult than a narrow blade set. But of course, when you start, the challenge is you're just trying to learn how to figure out how to move around the ice. So if we started you on something narrow, you'd be falling down a lot, it'd become very frustrating. But you also experience trying to turn on a wider blade set is frustrating. So I'll provide with you a couple examples about what it's like on this sled, and then Claire will demonstrate what it's like on her sled, where it becomes much easier, but at a higher skill level. So right now I'm in the Rev Force 1 sled, and it's going to be difficult for me to turn in this despite my experience because I'm on that wider blade set. So the focus here when we start is just to try and learn how to shift your hips sideways by leading with our head, and then the body will follow to get us to start to slow down as we maneuver a new sled. So I'll demonstrate what that looks like at a modest pace. I'm going to use my inside hand to pick and pivot my sled, while as my head will turn and my body will follow. And the analogy I like to use is checking your blind spot as if you were driving a car. So if you happen to drive, or if you think about driving, when you check your blind spot, your shoulders are going to turn, and that will make your body want to follow. And we want to do the same thing here. So I take a few strides, and my inside hand is going to pick and pivot, and I'm going to check over my left shoulder, and that's going to start to swing my sled around. I'll do the same thing going again this way, but looking to the right. I make a couple strides, I check to my right, and I pick, and I start to slide. Now, sliding on 3-inch wide blades is not ideal. We want to be able to cut into the ice, but it's very difficult on a wider blade set to do that when you start out. Like even for me to tip over and get on that edge is not very easy because it's just so wide. So as you progress, you move your blades in closer, which makes it easier for you to get onto your edge. But when you're on a narrower blade set, you still have to think differently as well about how you cut and carve into the ice. So with me right now, Claire has her blade set at 1 inch apart, and she's going to demonstrate what it's like to learn how to turn and stop on a narrower blade set.
You want to use the same tips that Kevin gave with turning your head and using your shoulders for that momentum. The difference is you're going to dig into the ice with your blade using your hips. So you're going to put more power and more weight on the inside blade that you're turning on. So you're going to skate and you're going to dig into the ice with your inside stick and use your hips. You're going to put that power on the inside stick and the inside hip to stop.
At the same time, if you're finding it too difficult to stop by learning how to turn your sled at the beginning, you can also learn how to drag your sticks. And some people may just like drag them behind like this, but if you lower your hands, you can intentionally dig into the ice a lot harder, which will make you stop a lot quicker. So it's not really a practical skill set if you're at a faster speed, but if you're just kind of moving around trying to get the puck and you need to stop, you can lower your hands and at the bottom push into the ice, which will slow down your sled. So I'll take a couple more strides, like 1, 2, lower my hands, and then drag my sticks. It's not the typical way we would learn how to stop in sledge, but that's another example about how you can learn how to stop when you're starting out playing the sport.
To recap with going over how to stop in a sled, the three things that you want to focus on is 1, checking your shoulders to move the momentum with your sled, using your inside pick to help with that momentum and the stop, and also using the weight of your hip to turn and dig into the ice with your inside blade.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos in the future. And if you'd like to learn more about sledge hockey or the program and how to get involved, visit playsledgehockey.com or parasportontario.ca.